Hi everybody, this is Miss Thorne. I'm going over the Spring Break Packet, Module 7, Lesson 7. I got started on it, but then I got interrupted, so I had to restart the video. Create a square, and I circle the word square, with an area of 20 square units. Well, we have to think about what is a square. All squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles are squares. So rectangles or squares have 4 equal sides. But squares can also be considered rectangles because they have 2 sets of parallel sides and 4 right angles. So if you're trying to find an area of 20, there's nothing that I can multiply by to give me the same. If I put the same number here, that's going to give me 20. So it's going to be a rectangle and not a normal regular square. So area equals length times width. So you could do 2 times 10, which would give you 20. Or you could have done 4 times 5, which would give you 20. Or 1 times 20, which would give you 20. And you can write out all the factors to prove that. 1 times 20 is 20. 2 times 10 is 20. 4 times 5 is 20. And I'm doing that upside down rainbow. The next one, create 2 different rectangles with an area of 12 square units. So I'm going to do my factors again. 1 times 12 is 12. 2 times 6 is 12. 3 times 4 is 12. So I can do 1 and 12. If I'm going to do 2 and 6, I'm going to make it a little bit longer and this one a little bit shorter. 2 and 6. And 3 and 4 is almost going to look like a normal square because they're only 1 away from each other. So it said I only had to do 2, but I did all of them. Create 2 different rectangles with the area of 8 square units. So the factors of 8, 1 and 8, 2 and 4. So you could have done literally only 2 different rectangles, but you could have done them vertically or horizontally. I'm going to do, since I did the other 2 problems horizontally, I'm going to do these vertically. So 1 and 8 and 2 and 4. Be real careful, like when you're drawing your rectangles out, these 2 rectangles should not look the same. These 3 should not look the same. It depends on their side lengths. So like 2 and 4, 2 is going to be longer than 1. 4 is going to be half the size of 8. So it should look like that. Your rectangle should look like what the side lengths are. I'm going to go ahead and move on to Module 7, Lesson 8. Draw a line to divide the triangle into 2 equal smaller triangles. You can just divide it down the middle and you'll have 2 right triangles. If you put the little square corner right here or the square corner right here, you'll have 2 right triangles. A lot of people think that a triangle has to look like this, but I told y'all in another video, but there are different types of triangles. So you can go Google it and figure out what are the different types of triangles. That's a 4th grade standard. All right, so again, 2 right triangles. Draw a line to divide the square into 2 triangles. We've been doing that since the beginning of, this says triangles. But we have been doing this since the beginning of the year when we've done tape diagrams and we've been able to divide things into parts. So draw a line to divide the square into 2 triangles. You could have put it right here and you would have 2 equilateral triangles. All right, or you could have put it here. So it doesn't matter. You could have put it on this side or you could put it on this side. But you couldn't have put it this way because then you wouldn't have had triangles, you'd have had rectangles. Draw 2 lines to divide the shape into 3 smaller rectangles. This is the one where it looks like tape diagrams that we did since the beginning of the year because we're doing rectangles. Into 3 smaller rectangles. So if I'm trying to do 3 parts, you only draw 2 lines. You always draw 1 less line than what you need. So I'm going to draw, and it didn't say they had to be equal size. So you could have made them equal, or it just said smaller rectangles. I'm going to do a different one here. Or you could have done one line here and one line here. They're still rectangles, but it didn't say they had to be equal. So yours doesn't have to look like this one right here. So that's Module 7, Lesson 7, and Module 7, Lesson 8.